Now, even with statements and open invoices that are sent out to clients, obviously there are some clients that are not paying their bills. So it's time for us to move to the second part of the collections effort. Now, to find out at a glance who are not paying their bills and overdue invoices, the best report to print will be what's called aged AR. So let's go into receivables, monthly reports, aged AR. Now it has several parameters. Again, by using the default settings, I'll simply go search. Now my preferred format of this report is that first of all, I sort by the amount, not by firm name, because the alphabetical listing is kind of meaningless to me, because I want to find out the clients who owes me the most amount of money for the longest time first. So if you look at scroll this report, and you will see that all the aging report period from current 30, 60, 90, 120, 180, and the total due. And now you can also ask for the detail. If you need more detail, actually invoice numbers, then you can say detail, yes, and then search this report again. And then this time you will get, for each client, you will actually get individual invoices listed under the correct aging column. Once you know who to call, go to receivables. This time we're going to go into collections and pull up the function called collection manager. And let's say today I like to call one of my overdue clients. So let's pull up the client. Once you specify the firm and simply go search to pull up all the open invoices for this firm. Now, the reason sometimes you might have these invoices divided into two groups is that this particular invoice was actually sent out to Mr. Kerry Lincoln, adjuster of a insurance company. And these two invoices down here are actually billed to the law firm itself. Now, there are several things you can do here. First of all, if you call the client or secretary or someone in the accounting department, you're talking to them about particular invoice, and the client might ask you a few questions about the detail of the invoice, then you can answer them right here without going into any other function. Simply right click on in a particular invoice, and there is a option that you can go into invoice detail and click on it, and this will pull up a window where it'll give you all the information about that particular invoice, about the finance charges, late charges, the witness name, how many pages, who the reporter was, and all the service items that this invoice involved. And a resource pay will show how much the reporter got paid for what, and any type of payment transactions, debit, credit memos will be listed here in this tab. Under the invoice level repository, that there will be the actual invoice. So this will be good if the client asks you, well, I seem to misplace that particular invoice. Could you email me that invoice again? And while the client is on the phone, I can simply right-click, go into the view, and use this view file button to pull up this PDF version of the invoice that we automatically archives every single time we bill. So you can go ahead and go look into the detail of the invoice. The next thing you can do is you can actually generate a collection letter. So go into the letter option after you selecting invoice. Then now this one only has a couple letters here, but these are the standard templates. You can also modify them to make many collection letters. You might have a collection letter number 1, number 2, number 3, demand letter, judgment letter, and things like that. Again, using the form manager you can have your own collection letters. Then you can select any one particular one of them, and by clicking open, you can actually print the letter and send the letter to your client. The next thing you can do is obviously that I need to record either the conversation or the actions that I took on this particular invoice for this client. So to do that, go ahead and again right click on that particular invoice. Now there are two places where you can make notes about your collection effort. Now I recommend you always make a note against a firm rather than individual contact, because as you know, attorneys move around from firm to firm, and firm is ultimately responsible for the payment. So I'll make all my notes at the firm level. So click on the firm. This will automatically take you to the firm and open up automatically the tab called Collection Info. Here, simply click the New button and select one of the action type that again you will be setting up in the Code Manager. So let's say today I'm making a call, and Susan said check in the mail by March 5th. Now since she promised me the check by a certain date, and then I don't trust Susan at all, so what I wanted to do is I want to remind myself to follow up, make sure that check is in our office or the invoice has been paid. So what you can do is that I want to use the remind date, and I'll go to March. If the check's going to be in the, by 5th, maybe I'll wait at least a week, maybe 12th. By 12th, and I'll follow up. Now what happens now is that this reminder date will go into our database, and come March 12th, that you will get an automatic alert from the RBA's built-in message center. It's called Collection Reminder. They're telling you that you need to make a call or follow up on this particular client. With that, go ahead and save and close. Now there's one more thing you can do. Since Susan promised a payment by a certain date, you can actually enter the amount that was promised and the payment by, and I can actually set the date, March 5th here, and go ahead and save. There are a couple more functions available in the collection module. First one is called Collection Follow-up. Now this function is designed for you to pull up all the collection follow-ups that you need to do. Now even though those reminders you put in will automatically pop up as an alert through the message center, but sometimes maybe you might have come back from the long vacation and you missed all those alerts, and you want to find out the things that you have missed. So you can simply put in your dates and say, show me all the things that I'm supposed to do on 12th, and go search, and then this will pull up all the action reminder items that bears those date parameters, and simply then go into each one, and it'll take you to the collection info tab of each client, and you can see the notes that you have made or others have made to see what actions you should take. Another thing you can do is use the function called collection forecast. It's kind of a report to enter a day parameter, a period. So for example, if you're a collection manager, you want to see, I want to see what money we can expect to come in based on the collection efforts of all the collectors. So you can enter a promised date from to and search, and it'll list every amount or amount promised and by a certain date, and then it'll give you a total amount. So this will be a nice report to look at to see how effective your collection department is.